Hi, everybody, and welcome to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by a very special guest host today. Audrey and Judy couldn't be with me today as they had some other commitments, but I am joined by the ever fabulous, ever wonderful, constantly brilliant and amazing Rachel Bernard.
Right back at you.
Anyway, we're going to kick it off. And Rachel, I'm going to get you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Before we start, little fun fact. Exactly a year ago, I was co-hosting the last time on your show, but you weren't there.
No.
Yes, madame.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, no, you're right. I probably had a work commitment at that point and was tied up. But I will say this. I do miss being in the studio. I do miss being with people. But I'm pretty glad that we get to do this still every week. We've been probably about, I think, 7 weeks now since it's been about 10 weeks since the pandemic started, or our safe at home started. And then we've been home. We've been doing the show from home for about 7 weeks now, I think.
So my name is Rachel Bernard. I am originally from Dalhousie, or as everybody calls it, Zone 5. And I know. And yet my heart goes out to my family. I see my mom on a regular basis. And I have not seen my mom. Actually, Mother's Day was the last time I drove up. I got to see her through, more than the regulated 6 feet. And we usually see each other every 2 weeks. But anyway, so I am originally from the Dalhousie area, beautiful little town. I've been living here. It's going to be 20 years at the end of this month. I have fallen in love with the area, but most importantly, I fell in love with the people. And you happen to be one of those people, Veronique, because you and I become friends. And I don't know, is it 2 peas in a pod or whatever you want to call it? And it's been an amazing journey to have moved here and met so many wonderful people. And I was lucky enough to have a great career and still working. And that's about it, I guess.
So you actually have the quote today. So I'll get you to share your quote with our viewers.
So when you asked me if I wanted to have a positive quote, I thought there are 2 big things that are going on in our lives right now. Well, 2 major things that are uncertain things. And one of them is the COVID-19 pandemic. And the other one is what is going on in the US and somewhat in Canada with the Black Lives Matter movement because of the death of George Floyd. And I thought, there's got to be something out of this that I can make more positive. Then I started thinking of our graduates. I have a niece graduating next week, and she's in Zone 5, and I probably will not be able to go see her graduation. The only one of my nieces and nephews that I will not be able to go see. So this is a quote that I'm going to dedicate to her, and it's by Michael Josephson. And it's, take pride in how far you've come, have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enjoy the journey. And I think that's something for all of us too, not just for graduates. With everything going on in the world right now, I think that's a quote that you can share with whatever's going on in your life right now, right?
And you're right. And we forget at times to appreciate the journey. We sometimes get that end goal in mind, and it's tough too. And especially for the graduates right now, it's not quite what they envisioned, especially our region here in Miramichi is so steeped in tradition, with prom and grad and all of those things. You plan those things all year, so I can imagine it's quite tough on them. You and I, of course, have another special graduate that we share, and that's Gregor Wilson. So we're very excited for him to be graduating. He's the son of one of our other dear friends, Kara Scott. And it's a different environment for him for sure, but we're no less proud of all of the graduates that are out there. And we want to send a huge congratulations from all of us. And I know from Judy and Audrey as well. It's something that we all talk about quite a bit because we remember our own feelings of grad and we want the best for them. So congratulations to all those grads out there. And your quote was perfect.
And yes, you're right. We're all proud of these young men and women they're making such a big difference in their lives right now and around. And I mean, we just think of the next guest that's going to be coming up. He is doing amazing things. We're not going to reveal too much because you'll get to see that after. But a young man like even Gregor Wilson that you were talking about, he just won an award for, I want to get the title right, but it had to do with mental health. He was a big advocate for mental health. And I mean, these young people are doing such amazing things. It's so exciting to hear what they're doing. And so I think having this kind of platform to talk about it is great.
Let's talk a little bit about the pandemic, Rachel, and how you've been doing throughout it all. And you're just as social as I am. You're just as involved in the community as I am. And so how are you coping with all of this?
So I've got the COVID 10 pounds. So I think a lot of people did that the first 4 weeks that I was home. It was a complete isolation and just trying to be as careful as staying home and doing the best that I could. But now I go to work and I wear my mask because I work in a building that have quite a few people in it. And when I go to the grocery store, I wear my mask. But what I like to do is smile. When I talk to people, I like to look at them in the face. And I can't do that now. So when I go to the grocery store and I thank the clerk, I look at them and I'm smiling.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's funny that you talk about the mask, because I will admit that in the beginning, when they said it was kind of a, it's a nice thing to wear kind of idea, I wasn't great at it. I was hit and miss as to whether or not I'd wear it into a store or to grab takeout or whatever. But probably the last 2 weeks, I don't know what happened, what clicked, but I don't care anymore. I found it really awkward in the beginning. Now I'm like, and sometimes I'm the only one in a store with a mask, which, I get frustrated at times, but it is what it is. And it's the best way that I feel like I can, keep those around me safe.
Tuesday, I have to wear a mask. So, more and more people wearing them, I hope, because it's for everybody's, health.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about grad and how exciting that is. And, and I know it's got to be tough for the graduates, but it's been amazing what we've seen happening around the region and across the province. Like the high school faculty has really stepped up. I've seen it, all over the place. I know Blackville had posted a large billboard with the pictures of the grads on it. I know that James M. Hill and MV had the virtual graduation, where they had a time where they could go as a family to have their graduation. Get their diplomas. And I know even that James M. Hill did a drive up. So anybody that had won a specific award, they actually brought the awards to them, which was all over Facebook Live, and loved seeing it. So I really want to give kudos out to the faculties of all of these high schools across our province and across the country, really, because they are finding amazing creative ways to make it special for these graduates.
Isn't that something that, I'm seeing all of that on social media also, but does it bring you back to your graduation and how complicated things were when you look at how things are now, how simple, and it's a whole different world, I know, but for you, was it a big thing when you graduated from high school?
Yeah, it was actually. So I very stupidly said in the beginning of the year, in my grade 12 year, that I would host the after prom party. So, yeah. So we had 400 teenagers in our backfield after prom. And so, we had set up tents and we had a DJ, and it was wonderful. I loved it. But I had come from away at that point and came back to graduate here with my friends. And so where I came from in Ottawa, we were living in Ottawa at the time, prom and grad wasn't that big of a deal. So it was kind of a shock to my system. And but I remember I had my dress made. I remember going to get my shoes. I got my shoes at Digdon Shoes downtown in Chatham at that point. So it would be Miramichi East now. But I did my own hair and makeup because that wasn't a big thing at that time. So, but and then graduation was amazing. And Safe grad wasn't a thing. It was the first year actually that they had safe grad was the year I graduated. So there wasn't as many students that partaked, which, was too bad. Although we had a great time. One of the families here had the after grad party. So that was a good time.
When I graduated from high school, I graduated from L'École aux 80 in Dalhousie, and we were 135 students at the time. And today, I think there's less than 50. There are less than 50 students graduating.
But let's talk a little bit about what's been, making news over the last 10 days or so, and probably, some really tough news to watch. As the world watched George Floyd, be taken into custody and then killed on video. And what's happened since with the protests and, the Black Lives Matter movement, as you said, it's gripped the world for sure. And it's been hard to watch.
It has been very hard to watch because although it was one thing that happened just lately, it's something that has been happening for many, many, many years. And I think a lot of us are starting to say, you know what, enough is enough. Being a white person, I always try to think like, what can I do? What can I do that will matter? What can I do that will help? And interestingly enough, the president of the Miramichi Afro Connection group, that's the Black community here in Miramichi, a friend of ours, Jenny Muimpundu, and she's also a colleague. And I asked her, what does the Black community here want to do? Is there something that you want to say, something that you want to do? And anyway, they, after a few days of thinking about it, and they said, you know what? At the end of the day, having a protest or a march might not be the first thing that this group was thinking of doing, but she said having a roundtable. So they've put something together in a few days and asked me to MC this event. So next Monday evening, which is tonight, I guess, tonight at 5 o'clock on the Miramichi Afro Connection Facebook page, we're going to be live with a roundtable with, I think there's about 14 or 15 different guests that are going to be there. And we're going to talk, we're going to get people to ask questions, send questions through Messenger. And we're going to try our best to answer as many questions as we can on everything that has to do with what has happened, what is going on, what is our hope for the future with our Black community in Miramichi, in Canada. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great event, and maybe it will click something in us to want to do better, or to continue doing whatever it is that we're doing, to make this a more peaceful place to live. I mean, Miramichi is a peaceful place to live, that's for sure, but I'm talking as a whole in the world, where we can start to understand each other better, and to see, I guess for us, I would want to know what's okay and what's not okay.
You're right.
No, go ahead.
Well, and I think, I think sometimes because we're such a welcoming people in general in Canada, but more specifically here in Miramichi, we tend to kind of block it out and not realize maybe that racism is still, prevalent in our culture, in our community. We see it with our Indigenous peoples. We see it with, our people of color. And so, I am one of those people that I just got tired of saying, well, what do I do? How do I help? Or, what do I say? So I'm glad to see that now we've got some help here to figure out what's next and how we support the people around us to feel more like they don't have those barriers. They don't have that racism in their face. So, I'm looking forward to that event. So thanks for that, Rachel.
Hey, listen, so next.
Yep.
Talk about what's next.
Well, what's next is we have an amazing family that's going to be joining us, and they are new Canadians, or on their way to becoming new Canadians, and they tell an amazing story. And you're not going to want to miss this, everybody. For it's it's quite amazing what they've done. I don't know that I could do it, to be honest. And you know what? And we're gonna get to hear all about what they're doing with their lives and their one shot at happiness here in the region. So don't go too far. Make sure that you grab your favorite beverage and curl up on the couch and hang out with us for a little bit, because you're going to want to meet this family. So thanks, Rachel, for joining me today, and I can't wait to see what's next. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined, of course, by my stunningly wonderful, incredibly beautiful, brilliantly fantastic co-host, Rachel Bernard.
And I will pay you later.
Thank you. Thank you. I collect my fee in love and food and whatever else you may want to send my way.
Veronique, it's great to be here with you. In case you didn't know, I'm always happy to be able to join you on Have a Chat. So this is great.
And I did know that, and that's why we were so lucky today when, as we said in the first segment, Judy and Audrey weren't able to join us today because they had so much going on, and that you were able to pinch hit, as they say, and join us on set at home. We'll call it that, right?
Yes. That's right.
Okay. Now we are joined by some amazing guests, and I think everyone at home is going to absolutely love their story. And I'm fascinated actually by everything that they've done so far, and the fact that they get to join us here at home on set together. Sure, we'll go with that. Is really our privilege. So we're very lucky to have them. So joining us now, we have Fernando, Carla, and Leonardo Duarte. So welcome to Have a Chat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are so glad to have you here on set. So Fernando, I'll start with you. I'll get you to introduce yourself to our viewers at home.
Okay, my name is Fernando. I'm 43 years old. I'm originally from Brazil. We are a family which decided one day leave our home and start a great adventure. And then we sold everything we had, and we just built a small motorhome. We drove all the way from Brazil to Alaska, and then we started to travel all around Canada. We fell in love about the country, and then we are here because that's our goal, to stay here and raise our kids in this awesome country. We are really happy being here.
I can't even imagine the first drive, and then to settle. Carla, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, I'm very happy I start here. I'm a journalist in Brazil. Here in Miramichi, I just finished my human service graduate. I'm very, very happy. Today I work in Voluntário Miramichi in group homes, and I'm very, very happy for stay here now and talk with you.
Wonderful. Well, that's amazing. And Leonardo, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, my name is Leonardo. I'm from Brazil. I'm Fernando and Carla's son. And I moved here with them. And I actually just graduated. I'm graduating this year. And actually, a few minutes ago, all my teacher and my friends from the school, they passed here on the road in front of our house to give me like congratulations. So I'm very happy, and right now I want to start my life producing videos, and that's what I'm here to talk about. And I'm very glad that you're welcoming me here. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm just fascinated by all of you already, and I don't know anything.
Are you not in awe?
Absolutely. All right, so Rachel, I'll give you
yeah.
I'll give you the first question. You go right ahead and you ask it. You jump right in.
Oh my gosh, one question. This is just this, there's so many things we want to ask. I had the pleasure of meeting Carla last year, and we hit it off right away. She was such a sweet person and so interesting to talk to. And in a few minutes, I was able to find out how they came to Miramichi, and I thought, oh, we can't. This is not the last time I'm going to speak to this wonderful person, and only to find out that she has an equally interesting husband and her children are amazing also. I was able to watch videos of them, follow their journey from Brazil to Alaska. They were speaking Spanish, I think, is it Spanish or Portuguese or Spanish? Portuguese. You're speaking Portuguese, and I was.
At first, our mother language is Portuguese, but we have been speaking a lot of Spanish because we have been traveling in at least 16 Spanish countries, or Spanish speaking languages. So we started learning speaking Spanish too.
This is amazing. So I guess at first, I know. Yeah, I hear Nick in the background going, "Whoa!" So there were a lot of questions we want to ask. The first thing is, and I know the focus is going to be talking about this wonderful project that Leonardo is doing, but I want to know, how does a family decide to leave home, sell everything, and just say, I mean, I'm a mom, so I know it's not an easy thing to decide. So and you have 2 children, so how do you decide, this is it, we're leaving, we're going to do this? And did you have a vision of what was going to happen once you got to your destination?
No. And my dream is always travel around the road. And I had Leonardo with 20 years. I'm very, very young when Leonardo born. And when we have another child, Rafael. When Rafael completed 8 years, I talk a lot about with my husband and the kids for we travel, and always Fernando said to me, no, it's crazy, it's impossible. And we talk a lot, read a lot of books. And one day he said for me, if you want, I go with you. I think it's 6 months. Yes. We sell everything in Brazil, and we started the travel.
So not Leonardo, but Fernando, did you do most of the driving?
Yes,
or was
yes.
It shared?
I think
Okay.
At least 90%. Carla is a really good driver, but I was driving in different countries, and sometimes I needed to talk to the policeman and ask some questions. So I decided to lead the steering wheel.
How much do you remember?
Well, I think we drove over then 90,000 kilometers, over then 17 countries.
Where is the vehicle now?
shock.
Is it still working?
Yes, it's still working. Look, this vehicle. We sold this. We started a project on YouTube with this vehicle, and then we sold it to a person in Brazil, which decided to do the same thing with the same car and starting a project. And now we have another YouTube channel with the same car.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. So we have isn't it? But now we have the view of the adults, because adults can have exciting, weird, but then the children might not quite agree with the ideas. So Leonardo, what was it like for you to when your parents said, pack your little suitcase because we're leaving?
It was very fun. I usually when they let's say that I accept very well different changes, like moving to Canada and starting this trip. I don't have trouble doing big changes like that. So I saw an opportunity to know different countries, and I knew that it would be fun. I would be able to meet all these places that I used to see on the movies and in the history books. So I accepted it right away, and I was very happy to do it. And it was very fun. We had a lot of adventures, as you can see on our YouTube channel, and I was very happy to do it, and it was very fun doing that with my parents.
Wow, that's amazing.
We'll share your YouTube channel onto our Facebook page for the show because I can't wait to watch the videos myself. But so as you're traveling around the world, how do you decide that Canada is where you want to end up? And not only in Canada, how do you decide on Miramichi?
Well, it's a little bit longer story with history because we drove all the way to Alaska, and we wanted to drive here in Canada too. But our first plan was to go back to Brazil, and we in fact we did it. We went back to Brazil. But once we started to travel here, well, we enjoyed so much the culture, about the people, and the quality of life, the country. So we were really amazed about the country. We've made a lot of Canadian friends, some which used to live in Brazil a few years ago, and now they are living here, and they are really experience a new kind of life here. And then we decided to move to Canada. But then it came the second question, where we are going to stay, because when we traveled, we have been in almost all of the capitals of the country. But that's not the kind of life that we are looking for. We already lived in Brazil in the third biggest capital of Brazil, and we lived in the first biggest capital in Brazil, which is São Paulo. And then that's not the kind of life that we want for us. And Carla was looking for a course, and we started. At first, we was focusing on the West Coast, but then we didn't like a lot that kind of life because we had a lot of friends in Vancouver, but it's a really big country, city. And then when we started to travel around Canada to this side, we decided first, well, this is the side of the country where we want to live, but it's a big place too. So Carla started to make, and me, we decided to make a lot of researches, and she wanted to make a course, and it was a specific course that she wanted to take. And then she found here. So we started to make lots of researches about New Brunswick, and we fell in love about the place because you have we are here in Miramichi. It's a good city to live. You have Fredericton, which is not that far. Moncton. You have all the structure that you need, but here you can experience things that we never could do in Brazil, just like fishing, enjoying the nature, and we live just in front of the Miramichi River, which we can open our windows and see that gorgeous view. So we decided to come here because of this quality of life, and to can raise our family in a place which we have the structure, we have the nature, and it's a good. We are feeling that this place is a right place to raise our family. So we are really amazed about you. And I think we made a good decision.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's funny. Rachel and I both are lucky enough that we travel quite a bit in our personal lives. My dad is with the United Nations, so he lives in the Democratic Republic of the Congo now. Although we hope he's coming home soon. But one of the few places that I haven't been yet is Brazil. So I just love hearing. You talk about your love of your homeland, but also what you've discovered since you've come here. And I think Rachel will probably agree with me. We kind of take it for granted where, that we live on the river and it's so beautiful and there's so much to do outdoors, but we forget because we love to travel, right?
Yes.
Leonardo, how did you find coming to a Canadian, like you've just graduated now, and although this year is a lot different for sure for graduates, but how did you find that change from where you were to coming here to a Canadian high?
The thing is that we didn't change it right away from Brazil, from the city that we used to live in to Miramichi. So it was easier because the biggest change that I had to live through was the travel that we made. So we changed it to that motorhome, and we used it to live like inside that car. It was comfortable inside. We had TV and everything, but that was the biggest change. So right now, when we changed it to Miramichi, even being a smaller city, it was like awesome because now I could go to a normal school and meet people, and also I like have a big house as we have here right now, and go out and like enjoying the city. So it's been pretty good. The school, they are very like supportive. So on the this video that I was part of the contest, they were very supportive, and also they have a lot of different classes. So it's been awesome living here in New Brunswick. The people here are being very good and so supportive over us.
Wonderful.
That's amazing,
Rachel,
isn't
back
it?
over to you.
Well, the original reason why we wanted to have the Duarte family with us today was because exactly of this video that we have not even started talking about, because the whole family is so amazing. So Leonardo, you participated on a WorkSafe through WorkSafe New Brunswick. It was a safety video. And I had heard of it before, but I wasn't very familiar with it. So you just opened my eyes to this contest, which is amazing. And how did you find out about this contest?
Uh, as I said before about our travel, during these 3 years traveling around America, I was able to learn a lot. I was able to, since we had that YouTube channel, I could learn a lot about video making and video production. And I studied for a while on United States, and they have their some video production classes, and I got very interested in that, and I'm always studying and learn about movie making and documentaries making. And at the school, one of my teachers he showed me this paper saying that the work safety the work safe and B, they were raising this contest where I would be able to, any student, they would be able to create a video like saying for the students and the people that were just graduating and starting their life in a work environment, like saying that they should wear their safety helmets and gloves and always ask questions in order to have like a more safe and a good environment for everyone. And I told this teacher that I was very interested in doing that because I like producing videos. Then I started to create in the script for that and showed him, and with his support, I was able to create the video, and I got very happy because like just 2 weeks ago, I think, I received their email from the WorkSafe and B saying that I won the contest, that I should be very proud of it, and I got very happy because I was able to test my knowledge, and it was very good to win that.
That's amazing. And we're going to hear some more. We're really lucky that you're going to join us for our second segment as well. So don't go too far, everybody. Go grab a coffee or a cool beverage, snuggle up on the couch, and come on back after the break with Rachel and I and the Duarte family. Won't be too long, everybody. See you soon. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my wonderful, stunningly beautiful, amazingly brilliant co-host, Rachel Bernard. And I'm laughing because I can see her face as I say that. You guys can't. And she's shaking her head at me like I'm crazy, but that's okay. Our usual stunningly beautiful, wonderfully brilliant co-hosts, Audrey Lynch and Judy Loge, aren't available today. They had some prior commitments, so I was really lucky that Rachel agreed to come spend some time with me, virtually anyway. She's at home and I'm at home, and that's okay. But we're coming back from our last break, and we were joined in the last segment by a wonderful family, the Duarte family, and so much going on in their world, and they're a fascinating family. So we're pretty lucky to have them join us here on set at home. And I'll get Rachel to kick it off with a question.
We are lucky to have these people on our show, and even more lucky that they live in the Miramichi area, that they've chosen to move to Miramichi, which is amazing for us because they come with so much knowledge and so much talent, all of them. So when we went to break, Leonardo was just starting to tell us about him winning first place for the Work Safe NB video, which is actually on YouTube, and as Veronique kindly said a few minutes ago, that it will be on the Facebook page along with the family's journey to end up in Miramichi. So now you've won this award. You've won first place for WorkSafe MB. What's the next step for you now?
Okay, so right, I was able to accomplish. Me and my mother, we're planning a new project that we want to do together. I would present this web series that we had this idea because of the COVID-19, we are staying a lot at home. We used it to stay. We were staying even more at home, like 2 weeks ago. And we noticed that wasn't being healthy. It was good because we weren't being exposed to anyone, but because we were just staying at home, we wouldn't leave and doing anything outside. So we started just to biking here on our road, obviously following the safety measures, and we wouldn't get close to anyone, but we were biking a lot. And we started planning to do a bigger trip around New Brunswick because we are not allowed and we are not supposed to leave New Brunswick. But we were planning to do something like intercities, like going to another cities, biking around. And we thought that it would be a good idea, especially for me that just won this video contest, to create like a video project on that. And we started planning on doing this web series where we will go around New Brunswick. We're planning on doing that next month, and we'll go around different cities and showing on this video different places and hotels and restaurants and different places in order to incentivize and like trying to make other people also get to know their own province better and get out of their houses and like practicing sports. And the idea is the first idea was because of our trip. We used it to like 2 years ago, stay in other people's houses, and that was the first idea. But because of the COVID-19, that wouldn't be safe, and we want to follow the safety measures. So we are going to go in different hotels, and also we can show different hotels and different family businesses on this web series for the New Brunswick people. And that's the idea: show New Brunswick and in a different way, biking around and showing the best that New Brunswick has to offer.
How amazing is it that it is a family of newcomers? You've been here for a year, I'd say. Maybe not so newcomers now, but you are a family of newcomers that are going to show off the province of New Brunswick and have people do staycations, as we call them. And it's just amazing that it's a family that is not originally from New Brunswick, that has adopted New Brunswick, that is going to go and show us people that have lived here all our lives the beautiful spots that we have in our province. So congratulations for even thinking of that. That is amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing what this project is going to end up looking like. Now, when your mom contacted me, she was talking about trying to get sponsorship. Can you explain that a little bit more for us so that we can know, and maybe Tourism New Brunswick will be watching this TV show, and maybe we'll just forward it to them, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, so what we are planning on doing is uh, we will need we already have some bikes, but they are just for us to biking on the road. And this trip it would take around almost 1,000 kilometers, so we would need bikes and also filming equipment because we have the ones that we used on our trip on this one that we made during three years a year ago. But this one, like we would need cameras and drones, and also the clothing for us. And also, as I said, because the idea is showing different places and different family businesses per se, it would be good for us to get a partnership with different restaurants and hotels, and uh, that we're looking for showing like the lifestyle of people from New Brunswick. So we are looking forward to meet people with hotels that they have different programs in there, and also restaurants that have New Brunswick uh, like typical traditional kind of food in order for us to share that all that on our web series.
Amazing,
That's
Veronique. I'll
amazing.
listen. I could ask a million questions, but it's your turn, Veronique.
Well, I just, I find it stunning that, again, we take, New Brunswick for granted a lot, I think, because we live here. And although I will say this, it's your community of choice, Rachel. You moved here on purpose, and I moved back home on purpose 14 years ago. So we can kind of understand the draw for all of you to come here. But what kind of got you interested, Leonardo, in that video making? Like, how did you get in? Like, how is that something that you want to do now as your career going forward, or is this going to be a hobby for you and you've got something else on the go, or like, how did you get there?
Oh yeah, the video production is what I'm expecting to invest my time on after the graduation that I just received the notice today that I have graduated. And the idea is I already have made some videos before, and now I'm having this new project, and the idea is continue investing my time and my studies on that. That's what I'm looking forward to continue doing now on.
That's so exciting. And for you, Fernando and Carla, what's next for you guys here? Like, Carla, you said you were working and at Volunteer Miramichi, which is a great organization, in one of their group homes. So what's next for you guys as well? Are you going on tour with him on the bikes, or you got something else coming up?
I make a lot of extras hours in these months because the COVID. Then in July I will take a vacancy for make the trip with Leonardo. The bicycle trip is me, Leonardo, and Rafael because Fernando need work. And the next month I intend to start a master. I want to be a master in social worker. And you?
Well, our plan is it's set our family here permanently. So we have a lot of we have applied. It all takes time about all this process because we want to really set our family here. So my first goal now it's set our family and see that they especially my kids, because if we are moving from a country, we are always dreaming and looking for something better for me and especially for my kids. I'm really happy because I know that we came to work and to give our best to the country, and I know that Canada it's a really gorgeous country. It's a great country, so that's why we came here. And I'm really glad because all of these came from Leonardo. Nothing came from us. We are just here to help him. I want to show here Leonardo in Brazil. He made by himself. He wrote a book, and everything, the editing of the book, everything here was made by Leonardo. We sold a lot of books. That's why he could buy a lot of equipment for him, because he made this book. Everything started because of our trip. Because if you look our YouTube channel, the first videos was really something amateur, but then Leonardo and Carla, but especially Leonardo, because he really liked it. Everything it started to be more professional, and because of that, we could reach the mark of 65,000 followers in Brazil. So I think it was a really good mark, and thanks to his job and thanks to Carlos' job, and we are really proud about him. And we are here to push him forward, because we know that if he keeps doing this kind of work here, I think he's gonna go really far. And the other thing that I want to tell is that the same video that won the first contest here in New Brunswick, now it's on the nationals with the other provinces, and we are hoping that he can make a bring here to Canada, to New Brunswick and to Miramichi, another praise from the first praise from the nationals in Canada.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's astounding and so impressive. And you must be very, very proud of him.
Yes, of course.
So Dominic, I don't know if you realize, but Leonardo has told us twice that as of today, he's a graduated student. Something, first of all, to be
Yeah.
proud of, but second of all, with this craziness of the pandemic, it's not a usual type of graduation. It was kind of interesting to hear him say that just a few minutes before they sat down, that the cars went by to congratulate him, and so Leonardo,
Yeah.
we want to give you a shout out for that. I mean, congratulations. This is not an easy time for sure to be graduating because of everything going on. But so tell us which school you graduated from, and tell us how it felt to say to everybody, I have a diploma, I'm graduated. How does that feel?
I'm studying on. I was studying in Carrefour. It's the French school here in Miramichi. I wanted to go to that school because uh I know how to speak some English, but I wanted to get a little bit more into French. I was able to learn some, but since it was only 1 year, I wasn't able to learn how to speak French. But we're looking forward also to get the subtitles for the web series. I forgot to talk about that because in New Brunswick also we have a lot of people that speak French, so I'll try to contact the school and get all the web series subtitles so that it can reach everyone. But about the graduation, I'm very happy. I was expecting that for a long time, and I'm very happy that I was able to get graduate. When they passed here, I couldn't believe that they were coming here on the road. I wasn't expecting for that, and now I'm very happy, and I'm looking forward to apply for my university or college in order to continue studying for the this video production career that I want to get into. Right now we're waiting for our permanent resident documents because of the COVID-19. They might get late, so we're not going to receive them probably on the next days. And I was planning to go to work during the summer, but since I don't have the permit so far, I thought that it would be a good idea to invest my time on a video project in order to get more experience and have a nice project on my history of career per se.
It's so interesting because we hear how Fernando and Carla are saying how he did that all by himself, how Leonardo did this by himself, but he has to have inspiration. And I have a feeling that his inspiration was probably his parents. Am I right, Leonardo, or did you have other inspirations around you?
I had some other inspirations. As I said, the rest of our family in Brazil, they are very supportive, and also the school here and my teachers, they are all being very supportive, and the New Brunswick. but they were the main inspiration in all my projects. This one on the book, and also I made some lectures in different schools in Brazil, and now all this video projects that I'm doing, and this career that I want to to start doing. They are very supportive, and they are also they are all my plans and different projects that I create. They they are very supportive, and they always help me a lot with that, like contacting people and also having new ideas. And they are just, yeah, awesome. They help me with everything that I need, and all the plans that I have. They are always supporting me. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you got to thank the parents. You got to thank the parents for sure. But before we wrap up the show, and I really want to say that it's been so amazing to listen to your story for your whole family. So before we wrap up the show, how do we quickly? How do we watch you on YouTube? So what's your YouTube channel name? And we'll share that on our Facebook page.
The youth. Oh yeah, you can say that.
no, you.
Okay. The YouTube channel, it's called Van Com Tudo. It's in Portuguese. Some videos they have subtitles, but most of the channels are in Portuguese. It's called Van Com Tudo. It means in Portuguese van with everything that we have inside. And you can follow us on there and see the videos that we have made on the past. Also, I have
Oh,
here. Should I pass the contact in case that someone wants to contact with us? We have a email here. I have it write it down. Maybe that you can put on the description. Our email.
yep.
It's my email is Leonardo at VANCOMTUDO, which is the name of the channel, .com.br, which is the BR, it's because we are from Brazil. And if you're interested on our story or on this new project, the NB Experience project that we're going to bike around New Brunswick and show all that, you can contact us. We are very interested and looking forward to contact with anyone that wants to help us with that.
Wonderful. Well, we thank you so much for joining us today. We loved hearing your story, and we look forward to seeing what's next. So everybody have a great week. We'll talk to you all soon. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.